Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Furio just made some changes, and I know sometimes I've been critical of the changes they made in the past, but they added a new addition here that benefits every single person involved. So this one I'm actually really excited about, and from my point of view, there's absolutely no downside with this new addition to the ecosystem. Now, as you guys know, you already have the Furbot where you kind of churn out your dollars, the daily ROI protocol. You've got the Furpool, you've got the Furbot, which is the trading bot system, and then you've also got Furbet coming out, which of course is their casino. So those individual pieces of the protocol is what rounds out the ecosystem, but they just added something new that's really going to help every single person at max payout. Say hello to Fearmax. So Fearmax helps you out once you get to max payout. Let me cruise through this article that was written a couple weeks ago. I have waited to report on it because it is now live. So if you're maxing out your wallet right now or maxing it out in the near future, this is definitely something you want to pay attention to because it may change your claim schedule completely. I won't read through the entire article, but I'll give you all the basics here. It starts off by saying the Furio dApp was always meant to be the entry route for the Furio ecosystem. So they're talking about the Furbot, which of course is the daily ROI protocol. The idea is you put money in there, you make gains, and you continue to compound over time. Once you've built up a sizable amount of capital, that allows you to move some capital into some longer term plays, like the casino, like the trading bots, things like that. The overall idea is to utilize the Furbot to create capital, to generate capital for you that you can invest down the road later. Now, one of the biggest issues with that is you're going to have to pay taxes. I know all of us at the end of the year, we start thinking about taxes, and what the most confusing thing is crypto. How do I pay my taxes on crypto? Are they capital gains taxes? If I've held them for longer than a year, are they long-term capital gains taxes? Are they taxed at a flat rate? Are they taxed at my earned income rate? These are the questions we're all asking ourselves. And the truth is, in every individual city, state, country, you may have all different regulations. But there is one universal law in most countries, and that is there's no tax on debt. So what Fearmax allows you to do is take a loan out on your vault once you've maxed it out, in exchange for a small fee and for you allocating a portion of that capital into these longer term portfolio positions. So check it out. This here is just the rough math, but you basically max your wallet out at 27,778-ish tokens. Furio pays you out up to 360% of your total deposits. Of course, 27,777 times 3.6 equals 100,000 tokens. So that's the max payout. Hopefully everyone knows that. Now, I think they went a little conservative with this math. I'll show you my spreadsheet here in a minute. They are pretty close in the end, but I think what the Furio team did is they leaned heavy into the conservative side. That way they didn't overstate any of these values. It's kind of their thing to try to under promise and over deliver if they can. You're seeing the same thing right now with the Furpool. The Furpool states up to 50% APR, but right now it's paying out like 150% APR. So it's a common thing for them to do, and it's always better to understate it and then have everyone be surprised when things go better than expected. So like I said, this is some rough math here. I won't go through everything, but let's just get to the visuals because this will certainly help you out. Let me make myself small real quick. Okay, so what this infographic here is saying is once you reach max payout, if you haven't had any claims, that wallet is worth about 317,000 right in there. I actually think it's worth a little bit more, about 333, and I'll show you why here in a second. But again, I think they understated this on purpose. Right here, it's saying local taxes. So this is kind of your state and local taxes. So you know, some people would say 20%. I'm way higher. My local taxes are like 37.5% or something like that. I'm taxed at an earned income rate for all short-term capital gains, so I would absolutely get buried by taxes unless I found a way to circumvent some of them. And of course, make sure whatever you're doing, I'm not an accountant, I'm not your financial advisor. Make sure the stuff that you're doing is legal because you obviously don't want the authorities trying to track you down because you didn't pay enough in crypto taxes. So just be aware of that. But what I do know in my area is there is no tax that you have to pay on debt. So when you take out a loan or you take equity out of a home, you don't have to pay taxes on that money. So super important. So what this is saying is instead of paying your 20% local taxes, for me, much higher than that, consider taking a loan out. Use Fearmax. Take a loan out, you'll pay a 10% loan tax. That 10% loan tax will go over into the Furio tax pool, which of course is bullish for that. The rest is going to get split up for you. And you're entering really into a contract here. So you will actually sign a contract if you decide to do this, and that contract will issue you the loan. So they're giving you that loan, allowing you to take that loan based on two things. One, you're willing to pay the 10% loan tax, which of course I am. And two, you're willing to split your final investment there 50-50. 50% comes back to you in Fur, so you can sell it, you can airdrop a new wallet, you can do whatever you want with it. For me, the majority of that will be for my salary. I'm just basically going to take a salary off this, non-taxed of course. And the rest of this will likely just be airdropped to a new wallet. So I've always got one in the mix. The remaining 50% of that is going to go into my choice of investments. So right now I've got a couple of choices. I can go into the Furbot exclusive pool, and that is a trading pool only for the maxed out wallets. And I assume it'll work exactly the same. You'll get an NFT that represents your ownership share in that. Your next option, if you'd like to do it, is Furbot. They're basically going to give you a discounted rate to be able to get into the online casino and have ownership of that. And the last one, of course, is Furpool, which is where you're farming those LPs and earning USDC. So to explain that again, instead of claiming out your wallet and paying local taxes, you have the option to forgo that. Go the Fearmax payout option. You'll sign a loan document that says, hey, I'm willing to pay this 10%, and I'm also willing to split my investment 50-50. Half stays in the ecosystem in the section of my choice or split between the three, and half comes back to me and I can do whatever I want with it. You do have the option, of course, if you ever want to get out of the loan, you just have to pay it back and then you can do, the normal process here. So in a nutshell, what this does is this allows you to forego taxes because there's no tax on loan dollars, and it helps train you for splitting that investment. You keep half your money, the rest of it goes into investments that are good for the long term. So I hope everyone's getting that so far. To me, this is absolutely genius. Let's go down and look at the other infographic because I don't want to make this too long. This infographic basically shows you if that's the choice you make and you want to use Fearmax, then 50% of those funds come back to you in the form of Fur, which is about 142,956, which I actually think it's slightly more than that. But over about 700 days, that's what you would just get paid out straight in Fur. So that's a nice salary, at least a nice side salary for most people. You can sell those. You can, of course, reinvest them, or if there's new use cases, you can use those. But as it sits right now, the way I would do it is I'm probably going to sell the majority of it, maybe like 75%, just so I've got a nice salary coming in and I can ROI on the platform. And then the remaining amount, I'm going to airdrop to a new wallet. So like I said, I've always got one lined up after the other, and I could take the earnings from that and roll it over into some other parts of the ecosystem. So with the 50% that they give you that goes into the variable investment funds and whatever allocation you want, you can choose the Furbot, the Furpool, or Furbet. And you can do this in whatever ratio. This example gives you like 50% on the Furbot, 25% on Furpool, and 25% on Furbet. But you could do 90, 5, and 5, 33, 33, 33. You can do whatever you want here. And you can change your investment allocation, I think, at any time. But I would assume it at least be like once a month. And that may actually make more sense when it comes to the bot trading. Like I said, my calculations are slightly higher than this. I'll show you why I think they're higher. I also don't think it's going to take you 721 days to get it out. I think it's going to be about 699 days. Again, I will show you why. But what this is showing you is over time, if you actually want to use Fearmax and you allow them to split the allocation like this, you pick your allocations, whatever you want, whatever's performing the best for you, it increases your potential income. You've got your total income now at 407,000. You've got total in the fund 146,000, and your ongoing income per day is 541. And that's because instead of taking all your money out, you're just reallocating it into another investment that's actually earning dollars. And as that investment keeps going, you're not really locked into those. You can start to take profits as you need to. So it seems like a much more economical way to utilize your funds at max payout. And I think it's important for people to realize, I've said it on other videos, but something like 80% of people who win the lottery are broke within 5 years. And it's because they don't know how to manage money. And I feel like most people who watch my channel kind of get where I'm going with this. But what this is doing is it's training you that when you make money and you've got income coming in, to split it 50-50. Half of it goes into new investments, half of it you live off. So this is really ideal for people, especially if they don't feel like they're really good with money. And if they have that money sitting in their bank account, they're going to spend it. Well, if you have all that fear sitting in your account, you're going to sell it and use it for something. If before you do that, 50% is already split off and allocated to other investments, kind of like what happens with your 401k. So if you've got a 401k, you've already made that investment allocation, whatever percentage, 3, 5, 10% goes into that 401k balance before you even get your paycheck. So you can see it as a line item on there, but the amount that hits your bank already has your 401k deposit removed. So this is kind of similar to that. It's basically going to take 50% of your money, put it in long-term investments that you can pull off of later and help you build those. In addition, these long-term investments, they really don't even need the Furio vault to be around. The trading bots are trading traditional markets, so that can live on its own completely. It's just going to be its own platform. Furbet is an online casino that's fully self-supporting, and Furpool, does need, the Furio token because it's in a liquidity pair. So, maybe that one wouldn't survive if something were to go crazy wrong and Furio to go under. But the other two sections of the protocol can operate completely by themselves, which makes it even that much more sustainable. Now, for the record, I don't think Furio is going anywhere. I think these guys have set up a serious ecosystem here, and I've got absolutely no concerns about the longevity of the project right now. But it should make you feel better knowing that certain pieces of the protocol could operate completely on their own and don't even need the daily ROI protocol to survive. So pretty amazing. Let's jump over and look at my math real quick. So I think they did a couple things when they did their math to be a little bit more conservative. Let me make myself big here. I think they started your claim at 0.5%. Now, the way the contracts are written, it's a variable ROI. If you compound it for 28 days straight, then you're getting 2.5%. As soon as you've claimed at least once, it drops you down to 1.75. You can claim up to 4 times a month, and then it drops you down to 1.25 and so on until you get down to 0.5%. So I believe they did the math at everything is 0.5%. And of course, all that does is just drag it out. If you're getting up to 360% at 0.5% a day, that's 720 days. But if some of the early days when you claimed you got a little bit more, that's going to shorten down your time frame. This column is the amount of tokens you would get pre-tax. That's the gross profit on those tokens, assuming a $5.50 Furio price. This is the claim tax, which of course is 10% plus any whale tax, which of course it wouldn't happen in this tier because that doesn't kick in until you've claimed 10,000 tokens. And there's also a 10% sale tax. So this column here is the after-tax money. Just to show you something, we'll come down here. This, of course, is the whale tax tier calculator. 0 to 10,000, there's no whale tax. 10,000 to 20,000, 5. 20,000 to 30,000, 10%, and then it goes all the way up to 45% for that last 10,000 that you're claiming. As you can see, I have these taxes split out separately from each other because they are two different functions. So when you get your $763 and then you claim it, you're going to get hit with that whale tax and also the 10% claim tax. So that's a 15% tax. Then that's just sitting in your wallet. Then when you actually want to sell it to get the dollars, you get hit with the separate 10% tax. And here's how I think they went a little more conservative on the numbers. So charging tax in this way, 15% here and 10% here separately, is different than, of course, charging 25% total, which is what I think happened. So let's do a round number just as an example. If we take $1,000 and we take out that 15% tax right away, we're left with $850 now times 0.9, so $765 out of 1,000. So we'll just make a note here, 765. Now if we add those together, we say 1,000, and we say that's a total of 25% tax, we end up with 750. So as you can see, of course, there's a $15 discrepancy here. And that's what I think they did to make it more conservative when they claimed it, because when I did the math in that way, where I added the two taxes together, I came up basically with the same number that they had. It was within a few cents. So what they're saying is you're going to get about $317,000 from a Max wallet. What I'm saying is it's probably a little closer to $334, which is about a $17,000 difference over time. They also, I believe, said from the start you were going to get 0.5%, which of course would take 720 days for you to claim out. Because you claim at a little higher rate, those first couple claims, that cuts it down to 699. So that's the math I did on it, just slightly different from the math they had, of course. I think both are absolutely awesome. Whether you're making 315 or 334, that's pretty good money no matter how you slice it. So that is Fearmax. I'm really interested to see what you guys think, what you would do. For me personally, if you just want to know my personal strategy, I'm unsure about Furbot. I don't have any experience with online casinos, so I can't tell you how profitable they are. But if you get a discounted rate to get in, I really like that. I am very familiar with trading bots and everything, and if they're really averaging 8 to 10%, I'm loving that. So to me, I'm definitely putting a good portion of the allocation in here. And Furio Pool, my only concern with Furio Pool is if too many people get into that pool and are diluting it. Do the APRs go down too low to make it like really beneficial for me? But it's also a very stable play, so I'm trying to figure out what I'll do there. The likelihood is I will analyze what the Furbot is really paying out. I'll put a good portion in there, maybe like 30%. I'll go higher on Furbot, and then whatever's left over, I'll probably throw in the Furio Pool just so I'm diversified fairly well. Now, I've been doing nothing but compounding and DCAing, and my wallet will actually max out in like 70 days or something like that. So I'm definitely going to be using Fearmax, because if there's any way for me to put off paying taxes in a legal manner, I'm absolutely going to do it. So I'll take the loan out using Fearmax, and I'm perfectly fine splitting up in the ecosystem. What this also does is it keeps money in the ecosystem, and that just pushes out the runway. So where with a lot of protocols, they don't really have an ecosystem, as soon as people get to max payout, all they can really do is claim. Maybe they start a new wallet, but a lot of people just take their money and run there. Really, it's more short-term thinking. In this scenario, you've got a lot of other options. Do I start a new wallet? How much do I sell? 50% of it's already going to go into other pieces of the protocol. Which ones do I like the most? And what that does is that just generates a ton of liquidity for the platform. And like I said, it puts out that runway, a year, 2 years, 3 years, because everyone still wants to be involved in the system, still wants to be involved in the protocol. And the name of the game isn't just to constantly pull money. So to me, this may be the best update they've ever done. I think it's going to be really beneficial for everybody, and it's a genius move to keep liquidity in the system. So I'd love to know what you guys think. If you guys like this content, of course, feel free to like and subscribe. As always, comment down below if you have any questions. Happy investing.